the Learning Center. I work with children in the 7th grade in Mrs. Moadeb's class and have students from various other classes, which I do in pull-out centers for Learning Center support. In the professional development workshop that I attended, which was differentiated instruction, we were taught a practical application of implementing differentiation in the classroom as well as in small groups. We learned how to plan a differentiated lesson and how to apply it to any situation that we're in. I was able to apply it in my small group and watched Mrs. Moadeb apply it in her full classroom. What happened is the class is first divided into groups, which include stronger and weaker students. Each student was then responsible for completing a single task that's tailored toward his learning style and geared to his individual strongest modality. Tasks include the visual tasks such as highlighting, underlining, listing, etc., auditory or tactile modes. The completed assignments were later shared with the entire group. By giving the children this responsibility, the teachers engaging them, our students, and empowering them to learn new material and in the best way that they're able to. They're encouraged to take responsibility and to take ownership of what they learn and to share it with their peers. Differentiation ensures that children's new knowledge is internalized and will most likely remain with the children for a longer period of time. Mrs. Moadeb will further explain how she implemented this method in her full class.
Hi. So as Ms. Tannenbaum said, thank you, that we learned from our professional development session, we had a video of an example of a differentiated lesson, and we decided to implement it the very next day. I would like to give credit to Mrs. Stern because she was the one in the video that was being videoed of how she differentiated her class. So we followed that example and it worked out really nicely. What we did was, the class is divided in groups of 4. They actually sit in groups of 4. Each group, every member of each group was given a different task on an index card. Every group was given the same story. It was a Safa lesson, so they were given the same story. And every person in the group had a different task. One task for the lower level student was highlighting milim chadashot. The next task was highlighting poalim. So in that situation, they had to be able to differentiate between shemot etzem, shemot toar, poalim. The next task was composing sentences with new words that they had learned in the story. And the final task, which was on the highest level, was to do an entire sikum of the story. Now, it worked out really nicely because at the end, every member of the group shared their knowledge with the rest of the group. So every student felt that she had ownership of her material. Whereas in previous years or in previous lessons, when it's not differentiated, it's very hard to expect a lower level student who has less knowledge and less skills to be on the same level as someone who is writing a summary. So this was a perfect opportunity to let everybody shine in their own way, and everybody felt good about themselves. It also allowed them, as Ms. Tannenbaum said, to have ownership of the material and not have to compare themselves to others where they would have challenges. Because in a regular lesson, if it's not differentiated, if the material is too difficult, they'll give up right away, or they won't feel motivated if it's too easy. So this ensured that we were differentiating by task and by level. And we have to say that there was a little bit of challenges at the beginning because it's an entirely different mode of learning for them. They're not used to differentiated learning. But as we continue and as we implement it, I'm sure that they'll get used to it and we'll have an easier time. But it worked out really nicely, and we look forward to implementing it in the future in Chumash, in Avi, in all different subjects. And thank you for listening.